Look at what's known as a power slap. Okay, this particular one, I'm going to show you different setups from the events position. Okay, now you say a power slap. I prefer to call it a power strike. When you talk about slaps, you have this image in your hand of this sort of floppy hand, sort of, you know, almost like a bitch slap. It's not like that at all. Okay, it's an actual power strike. When you actually impact with that strike, your whole hand, at least for a second, is completely tensed, so there's nothing floppy about that hand at all. Okay, so what we'll do first is we'll look at the basic body mechanics of this particular strike first. I'm going to show you how to generate enough power to actually get that coveted knockout. Okay, so that's it. We'll take it just from our defense position first. Okay, now in terms of power, people talk a lot about drawing power up from the floor. Okay, that's true to an extent, but really most of the power comes from the spine. Okay, it's that actual twist that you get when you're striking, that comes from the spine. Okay, you're still using your foot, you're still turning the hips and all the rest of it, right? But the majority of the power comes from you turning your spine like that. Okay, if you had to rely on the floor all the time, then when we're put in restrictive positions where you're over the bonnet of a car or lying on the floor, where you can't bring the leg into it, then you're going to have to rely on something else to generate the power, and that happens to be the spine. Okay, so before we go any further, I'll just demonstrate the strike for you just from this position here. Okay, just from an ordinary defense position, right? One leg forward, hands up, controlling your space, and we're just going to go from here. Strike. Okay, and again, strike, and again, strike. All right, so turn the hips, the whole body turns into the slap. Okay, we also want to bring in what's called kimi here. Okay, the traditional martial artists, and most people know what that is. Kimi basically translates as tightening of the mind. Okay, so you want to take all that internal energy, all that aggression, okay, and focus it into your strike. Okay, so for a split second, everything is completely focused on the impact of that strike. Okay, stay as relaxed as possible up until that very last second. Okay, now when I'm doing the strike, everything is completely relaxed. Just a split second before I'm about to impact, my arm tenses. Okay, there's no floppiness in the hand. The hand's completely stiff. And just a second before you strike, everything tenses. Strike and then relax again. Okay. Now, you can volley through with it like so, or we can go for the ballistic impact, which I much prefer. Okay. And remember, it's the ballistic impact that's going to give us the knockout, right? Not necessarily following through like that, right? Might put him down, but it might necessarily knock him out. Okay. The difference in that would be if I follow through, there, that's the follow through. And then if we're going for a ballistic impact where we're actually bouncing off the target, we'll be here. Strike, and again. Strike, and again. Strike, okay? So it's a very powerful strike, right? And again, don't worry too much about telegraphing it, right? A lot of people when they hear, think that they have to go from here without telegraphing it, okay? Yes, it does have its advantages. You can still get the power, right? But if you feel you need to get that extra bit of power, don't be afraid to draw back and cock the hips, okay? Remember, this is your one shot, so you want as much power into that shot as possible, right? So, if by taking a split second to go back like that and gather up that extra bit of power, that's fine, okay? If it results in a knockout, all well and good, okay? So, again, from here, from your high fence position, strike, 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 okay? Now, we'll look at a couple of other different setups for that, all right? Now, we're in the situation, he's being aggressive, okay? One of the setups we can do, especially if you're from a neutral position, right? Now, in a lot of these situations, you know, you have to fucking pry these guys off the crowbar sometimes because they're right in your face. So if he's being seriously aggressive, we're going ahead. a lot of the times you're here trying to fucking keep the guy back, okay? So, one of the setups we can do from there, right, as he comes in, because you're keeping your hands up to keep him back, right, you're automatically going into that high advanced position, right? Even better if his hands are down here, okay? Your hands are up higher than his, you can't go wrong, right? There's no way he's going to be quick enough to stop my strike, okay? So, from this high up position, right, doesn't matter if there's a space between us or not, or if he's right in on top of me, whatever, here, even if I'm here, I can strike him from here. There, okay? Strike. Keeping him back with the hands, going, look mate, listen, don't want any hassle here. Strike. There, okay? It's a very close up strike. So you're not really relying on arm movement here, you're relying more on hip movement, okay? Done right, you can still get the knockout, okay? And saying that, if you want to draw it back from here, you can. It's the same thing. So if he's right in your face, you're going, look, mate, don't want any hassle. And strike him from there. It's the exact same thing, okay? If you don't get the knockout, fair enough. Hit him, strike, and just keep striking him until he goes down, okay? Or do what we did earlier. Strike him, grab the head, him in the knees, elbows, finish him whatever way you want, all right? As I said before, the first strike that you do is the only pre-planned strike that you're going to have. Basically everything after that is going to be spontaneous, and a lot depends on his reaction after you've hit him, okay? If he goes down, fair enough. If he doesn't, he only goes to there, well then, as I say, follow him up, keep hitting him until he does go down, okay?